So I welcome you to this, to one more preview video of one of the major leagues in Europe, which this time will be the La Liga, Primera División in Spain. And as we started from scratch in the Premier League, in the English Premier League, and maybe that still appears to be a bit complex and complicated to do this on your own, because I will show you once again how to do this. You can get access to this tool if you click on the description below, Betmaster, this page, and there you can access, can get your own data area in which you would have, with this tool, the chance to compile all those prices all by yourself. And it is about, we try to find the good bets where market may have gone wrong. We can discuss that, we can adjust our settings. You can do this, you can start to learn this, how to do this. And there are a couple of things that maybe you would have to get used to, but the pretty advanced users, which I do have quite a couple of them, they are quite pleased with the plenty of possibilities to adjust their settings and thus compile even better prices. Whether or not we will find bets like that, or whether or not those value bets, whether or not we bet on them, and whether or not we are going to win them, we will have to learn a little bit, and then maybe after a while you start to get used to it, and then you notice how this whole market, or within the leagues you are compiling, how this is going to work. And I actually changed my mind now a bit, because I go to 4-3-2-1. This depends a bit on the league as well. When you say there are many changes, then you may alter this weighing, because you say that the most recent ones are more important. If you say, well, they are pretty regular, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Sevilla, we know them all, and Atletico, of course, and they are usually more or less the same. So you can, like that, still have some minor impact. It doesn't make this much of a difference. So you set your weighings, which means the computer simply takes the results, multiplies the goal differences you have by 4 from the last season, by 3 from the last but 1, multiplies the goal difference with 2 from 3 years ago, and so on. And then it adds up all the goals scored and divides it by the number of games that they played. And this it does for the home and the away games. So this algorithm is even reproducible for you. Here the tool does all the work for you, and you can still also adjust those figures slightly. Anyway, when I press on init now, after I've done this weighing, we will get what I just explained. And this is also the basis for all the calculation that is going to come. Now we see that here Barcelona would be top, Atletico second, Real Madrid only in third place, which we may accept. There is a huge gap. I mean, they are more or less the same by results. Now we can still discuss that who's really gone better or worse, and we will of course keep an eye on Barcelona. Sevilla are in third place, Real Sociedad, because we waited. Well, they had been playing well. Villarreal I would consider actually a bit better, but you can do this yourself. Valencia may be a bit too high here. Bilbao sounds pretty fair to me. Rayo promoted sides. Mallorca, well, not so much to worry about. Espanyol even a bit better. They also promoted. They went down for 1 year, but then they came back. Osasuna looks a bit exaggerated. Also Levante maybe, but Celta could be a bit better. Anyway, if you dislike one of these settings, then you can easily, you say, well, no, this Osasuna is not my side, so I'm going to take them down. Cadiz, in fact, could really be a bit worse. They promoted last year. You can say, as soon as you have an average or the quotient, This is the quotient of these two, and this is the sum of these two. This is the sum, this is the quotient. And anything underneath 0.6 is usually a bit too low. If they have these results, this may have come from a season when they got relegated. Then, of course, in the end, they are pretty low. But for a start, we do a little better. This is my experience with 0.6. You also saw that Cadiz played a pretty good role. I mean, I don't see this much wrong here at the moment. Osasuna. Well, if you make such changes, and then usually you notice somewhere you're going against the market. Also, Levante. They lost. No, they drew with Real Madrid, for example. We know such results. So they had been playing well. Celta market will rather guess a bit higher. So we should simply slightly change those figures. Betis are also okay. Getafe, also some respect to them, but maybe a bit lower. Valencia is the one side we maybe should touch because they had this problem and changed the Pareja and so on. They had to sell players, so market will not be so convinced, although I would say, well, I could imagine they are a bit better. But now I set them down here to this area, to Granada, Getafe. It sounds pretty fair to me. It is of course, the better you know the league. Here I would say, of course, Barcelona, they are maximum now. Also, Koeman said that they can't expect too much without Messi and so on. And I wouldn't, of course, you would, in fact, never really, although they are so reliably playing well. But what would we do about Atletico? Say they are number one? Well, this sounds a bit exaggerated. They are always playing well defensively. You see that here as well. They usually do it via good defensive results, but still they are producing those results. So, but Sevilla would look a bit better maybe to me. But after we've done that, I mean, I can save here now. And what we have not discussed yet is the home advantage. Here we see in Spain actually 1.143 this season already, this campaign, 1.091 without spectators. We even had a decent home advantage. Before that, 1.159. I tried to explain the other video. Divide this figure by 2, and then you notice that I have to call back. Hang on. No, this was a very important call. I have to speed up a bit maybe. Now, the home advantage, it has been pretty decent here in this division, in this league. So we should maybe accept that. That's 56.5% home goals versus 43.5. It is a bit more, but once again, it's confirmed that it had been like this before. And we can toggle the columns here. So you see that it's taking this in here. My screen is not quite wide enough. I could make that bigger so you see all the figures. But now we shape this. Now all the home advantages are the same. We do not make any differences. I think it is only fair, and this will rather suit with market prices. But we will see in a second. Now I would not adjust the goals because Real Madrid some more, Atletico less, Barcelona more, Sevilla of course a bit less, but we could adjust this slightly here maybe. And I forgot to normalize. Now when you see there's a difference between this and this, then you rather normalize because we made some of the teams a bit better because we moved them around, we shuffled them around. So we do this, and then now we have a very, very pretty decent Rayo. Maybe they are a bit exaggerated. Then you could go down with those goal expectancies a bit here. And raise others, but Cadiz had been defensively very well. Elche also defensive side. I mean, usually it's pretty good. Getafe very, very defensive side. I mean, we could still say, okay, make it 2.2 goals maybe. But of course, when you say, what are you doing there? And just those small adjustments, they do not make such a huge difference. And it's before saving your data. Very good. Now I'm going to, I think I did save, are you sure? I mean, why did it tell me? Okay, anyway, this is a new feature somehow, but I'm gonna finalize the games now, which means it is running through all the games that have been played. It's just three match days, and it's calculating the prices on, or the goal expectancies on my settings here that we just stored, and it's going to update the strengths of the teams according to the results compared to what the computer had expected. So this is a very sensible. Now I at least we can have a look now. This is the upcoming match day, and now we can compile the prices game by game, or we do it in one go. But I would rather advise, I mean, if you hear the pairing Levante against Rayo, we do it game by game now and just check it with market, or is the computer compiling decent prices? Would we find indications? Would we wish to bet? Or would we wish to adjust our original settings? Now we're gonna check, and I would guess, of course, Levante are, well, is it under 2.0? They are the favorites. And is it more or less than 2.0 mark? The computer will be below 2.0, market will be above, I guess. So we're gonna check this here, and I didn't prepare this sadly, but we will be there in a second. So at least you see I didn't fake a lot. 2.05, that's what I was guessing. I would rather not look at the others and look at my eyes. I'm not watching them because I want to do this out of my head. So I've been doing a good job already with the 2.05. Computer will be below, I guess. That's impressive. It's very impressive. Okay.